Hey, what's up guys? I'm doing a B.E.S. deck profile for you guys with Ear Millions. So I decided to bring back B.E.S. because the deck is still pretty good with the Zalos being able to protect your B.E.S. monster. So yeah, so there's quite a few updates to this, and so yeah, let's go and get in with the deck profile. So 3 B.E.S. Big Core MK3. Now, for anybody that's new to B.E.S., this card came out somewhat recently, and so it's a new support card for B.E.S. along with the Zalos. So, but anyways, so if your opponent controls a monster and you don't, you can special on it. So it's like a Cyber Dragon. If this card is no more specialed, place 3 counters on it, and it cannot be destroyed by battle, which is also really quite cool. So, at the end of the damage step, if this card bowed, remove 1 counter from it. If you cannot, then destroy it. So, it's pretty nice. And then you can banish this card from your grave, shuffle all B.E.S. monsters from your graveyard back into your deck. So, it's really good, and it helps recycle your B.E.S's that get destroyed. So, it's really quite nice. And I do run 3 of those. 1 B.E.S. covered core. It's not the bear out of the B.E.S., but it's still one that you run 1 of. So when this card is no summon, put 2 counters on it. And then if this card cannot be destroyed by battle, if this card attacks or is attacked, which they all have that effect. Or no, it's only him, my bad. At the end of the damage step, flip a coin and call it. If you call it wrong, remove 1 counter. If you call it right, then the counter stays. If this card bowed without a counter, destroy it at the end of the damage step. So, they all have that effect where at the end of the damage step, destroy it if it doesn't have a counter. And then B.E.S. Big Core MK2. If you don't control any monsters, you can null summon it without tributing. Which, that's not what you want to do most of the time, but I mean, sometimes you don't have an option, so you just kind of do it. But mostly you want to special it. So, when this card is special, place 3 counters on it. And then, again, this card can't be destroyed by battle. And if this card attacks or is attacked, remove 1 counter at the end of the damage step. So, yeah. And then 1 B.E.S. big core. This is the one that got a errata. It used to be called just Big Core, and now it's called B.E.S. Big Core. So, yeah. So if this card is no summon, place 3 counters on it. Can't be destroyed by battle. And then at the end of the damage step, if this card battle, remove 1 counter from it. So, yeah. And then 3 B.E.S. Tetran. I really like this card quite a bit. So when this card is no summon, put 3 counters on it. And then you can remove 1 counter to destroy a spell trap, which can be really quite handy sometimes. So, yeah. And then 2 B.E.S. Crystal Core. He's not the bear out of the B.E.S's, but before all this stuff happened with links and not be able to target monsters, he was really pretty good. Because once per turn during your main phase, you can change 1 face up attack position monster to defense, which would be helpful to help you get over big monsters. So let's say they had a high attack but low defense, that would help you be able to get over that. So it's really kind of good in that situation. So yeah. And then 3 Eater Millions. I have a random extra deck for that. In real life, I have more a specific extra deck, but for this, I just decided to make a random one, just because it would be a little bit more easier. But yeah, Eater Millions just for the extra deck, and he also helps with adding problematic monsters as well, so he's really good for that. And then one day piece is sometimes you'll brick, and one day piece is useful to help get you out of those situations. 2 brain control, I'm trying this out in here, because it can be helpful to help you OTK your opponent. You can already do that with the attack points on your monsters, but just more helpful to help you OTK quicker. 2 duality, again, in case you brick, which, like I said, this deck sometimes does. So it just helps you make your hands a little bit more consistent or how you want it. So, yeah. 3 MST, just help get rid of back row. 1 lemon rule, just to help you, like I said, OTK quicker. I'm moving this a little bit more over so that way you guys can see my deck list, and still see the card over here. 3 boss rush. So you cannot normal summon or set while this card's on the field. And then during the end phase, if a B.E.S. or big core is destroyed and sent to your grave, you can special 1 B.E.S. monster from your, or big core from your deck. So if you have 3 of these on the field, you get all 3 effects. So it's really quite powerful once you have a big board. So yeah. And then B.F. Zalos. This is the other new card that came out somewhat recently. So when this card's activated, you add 1 boss rush from your deck to your hand. And then all B.S. monsters gain 5 attack and defense. Your opponent cannot target them with card effects, and they cannot be destroyed by card effects, which is really quite powerful. Because that's what this deck's issue was you attack and then you run into Mirror Force. It's like, well, crap, I'm kind of screwed now. So, but with this card, it really helps out the deck quite a bit. And then once per turn, you can special 1 B.S. monster from your hand, which also really helps out a lot. If a B.S. monster is normal specialed to your field, place 1 counter on it. So for any of the counters or B.S. monsters that gain 3 counters, it would actually have 4. For the ones that would gain 1 counter or none, it would have 1 counter. So, but for the 1 counters, it would have 2. So, yeah, this card is really quite good. And then 2 Typhoon. This is for in case of your opponent plays anti-spell. So it's just good in that situation. If you don't have MST in your hand, then you can just activate this and be like, alright, get rid of the anti-spell. So, Torrential Tribute. Again, in case of you brick and you have in your hand, set it, and then if your opponent tries to overextend, then you can just flip it and pay him for overextending. So yeah. Metaverse. This is actually the card that people in my last deck profile were telling me about. It's really pretty good. So take 1 field spell from your deck and either activate it or add to your hand. So it's kind of situational, but I mean, depending on your board, it can either be okay to have it in your hand, or if you need it on the field, then you can place it on the field. So it's good in that way. So 3 Dark Bribe to help protect your field spell from being destroyed, plus your boss rushes. So yeah, and then 1 warning. So yeah, that's basically it for the B.E.S. deck profile with Eater of Millions. I'll probably have deals with this deck for you guys tomorrow. So yeah, so thanks for watching. Don't you like, comment, and subscribe for more. And yeah, I'll be seeing y'all in tomorrow's video. There you guys.